Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here, welcome back to the railway and welcome back to the model railway news. It feels like every month has been extremely busy this year in the industry, and October is no different, bringing yet another bumper crop of updates with it. First of all, we're going to talk about Rapido because there's a lot of news from Rapido, and the first bit of news is one of the most exciting pieces for me, and that is that they've revealed their Wisbech and Upwell tramway coaches decorated samples. Plus the new J70s in Great Eastern livery, including this one, which is a sort of plum livery, isn't it? Which I think has to be one of the nicest liveries I think I've ever seen on a locomotive. But the main focus is the Wisbech and Upwell tramcars, which look incredible. They really do look wonderful. We've heard a lot about the detail they're going to have in terms of the interiors, and here we can see it realised with the full paint job as well. These tramcars are available separately for £63.71 at the retailers, or in a bundle where you get the loco and two of the coaches for £229.46. Making the J70 loco itself cost just £102. Seems really reasonable compared with some of the other prices we've seen recently. If you're interested in both, this is definitely going to be the way to go, and if you'd like to get one, I've got affiliate links in the description. In terms of rolling stock, Rapido's catalogue covers a lot of Southern and SECR wagons, but just recently we've seen them release some new LMS wagons. More specifically, the Diagram 1666 open wagons, which are now in stock with the retailers, and they're available at £28.01 in a small selection of different liveries. And if you're interested in these, I do have affiliate links in the description as well. A few weeks ago, Rapido made a new release of this, the new 15XX tank engine, and in my review, which you can find up here if you'd like to, I found that in addition to the masses of detail was a large number of defects and quality problems. And since posting my review, it's come to light that I am not alone. Plenty of customers said that they had no problems with the 15XX, but also a good number of them reported very similar issues to mine. And so with that in mind, I actually decided to send this loco back to Rapido, which actually turned out to be a really great service. So I did this by visiting Rapido's website and filling out this form, and they responded pretty quickly by sending me a free postage label so that I could return the loco to them. Then about a week or so later, the new model turned up, and here it is. It hasn't been repaired, it is a newly replaced model. And I'm pleased to say that this replacement is in far better condition than the original loco that I reviewed. As you can probably see, the plethora of defects are largely absent from this model, and it looks far better as a result. However, there are still one or two broken or badly painted parts, as you can see here, and of course a couple of distracting glue marks, including this one, which is particularly unforgivable. Although the number of issues is definitely much less on this replacement, those persistent issues combined with the ones that you guys have reported are pretty convincing to me that there is an issue with the factory that really needs to be addressed for future models. In terms of performance though, as you can see, it is far, far better than the original one I tried. That distracting wobble, for instance, is nowhere to be seen. And to the people who tried to excuse that wobble in my review by calling it prototypical, hopefully this demonstrates how clearly unintentional that wobble was. And frankly, I'm amazed that people tried to defend that. Why are we defending wobbly models? But, you know, if you want a wobbly model, if you think that's prototypical, get in touch with Rapido. They've got at least one of them because I sent it to them. And I'm sure they'd be more than happy to sell it to you at the full price, and then you can enjoy your wobbly loco. And then, of course, when the issue that causes the wobbling causes the loco to break down completely, you can tell everybody on the internet how prototypical your model is. I don't know, but I'm much happier. At the end of the day, Rapido's warranty service was excellent, it served me very well, and I would recommend it to anybody with an issue with any Rapido product, so do bear that in mind. The next update comes from Dapol, and though it may seem relatively minor, I'm actually insanely excited about it. So remember how almost all of Dapol's old rolling stock is essentially completely unrunnable because of these abysmal couplings which droop down and cause masses of derailments? Well, apparently Dapol are finally addressing this issue and they are fixing it. In a recent news update, they said, "We have re-engineered our 00 gauge tension lock, hook and bar coupling. This will eliminate the coupling droop that has been experienced by some modelers." And you can see there's a photo here which shows a much more conventional NEM coupling arrangement here, which looks tons better. They also said that these are going to be fitted as standard to all new UK production rolling stock, including the standard 10-foot chassis. Other chassis are apparently being modified soon to accept these couplings. So hopefully going forward, if you buy some Dapol rolling stock, you can expect it to stay on the track, which some might say is the bare minimum, but I'm going to say is a real bonus. So well done Dapol, glad to see them servicing some of their old rolling stock. The next update comes from Hattons, who have now revealed decorated samples for every model in their second batch of Genesis coaches. Some of these we've seen before, such as the GCR and L&YR liveries, which look excellent by the way, but there are now new ones such as the NCB Blue, which I love, look at that thing, and also those green CIE liveries. Those are Irish liveries if you're not familiar with those. And frankly, these just look fantastic. The rendered artwork that we saw before completely failed to do these liveries justice. They look great. Some of these models have now sold out on pre-order, but some of them are still left, so I've got affiliate links in the description if you're interested. And if you'd like to know more about the Hatton's Genesis coaches, I do have a full review of those up there. And they are pretty good, well worth a look if you like your pre-grouping locomotives. Next, we come to Hornby, where there's also a load of updates. The first one is on their Ruston shunter. There's a couple of new versions of this that have just arrived too, including this black one, which is the Gower Princess, and I absolutely love it. I think this could be the smartest Hornby Ruston that we've seen yet. It really is wonderful. So if you want to check the Rustons out, whichever version you're interested in, I do have affiliate links in the description for you. Up next, the first version of Hornby's new Standard Class 2 locomotive has been released. And from what I've heard, these are pretty awesome with lots of features and some very high quality. I don't know any of this for sure because I'm yet to experience one of these for myself, but would you like to see me review one? Please do let me know down in the comments. And if you'd like to experience one for yourself, they are available now to order/pre-order for around the £200 mark. So pretty pricey then, but are they worth it? I'm not 100% sure yet, but I am hoping to review one soon, so I should have a report on one of those pretty soon for you. As you also might have seen, Hornby's new turbo motive is out now and in stock. And I've got to say, these turbo motives are incredible. I'm not convinced that they're worth the money because they are incredibly expensive, but the improvements in terms of quality and features are just impossible to miss. And they do make me excited to see what Hornby produces in the future. Hopefully Hornby's new models will be much higher quality like this was, and I think that would make Hornby as a brand far more relevant in a world where there are so many manufacturers producing great stuff now. But I do have a bit of a poll question for you, and you can find that on my community tab. And it goes like this. Obviously the turbo motive has a ton of features. It's got the die-cast body, it's got the working lamps, it's got the lighting, it's got the touch controls for the lamps on the back of the tender. Are these features that you would like to see included on all new locomotives? Or would you perhaps rather models go without these features but be more affordable? That's a genuine question because I love these features, but I'm not 100% sure if I love paying 240 odd pounds for them. So please do visit that poll and let me know what you think. In Hornby's latest Engine Shed blog, they showed off more details of their re-engineered Class 423 VEP EMU that was first introduced in 2011. First of all, they showed off the samples, which do look modern and up to date, in a couple of different liveries, as you can see. But the improvements on these train packs go far beyond just the paintwork, and there's a number of physical upgrades which are on the way as well. So they say they've changed the moulding of the roof vents to make them more realistic. The cab fronts have also been modified to be more accurate, and they've also increased the weight of the driving cars with a new fully die-cast chassis. And they've also suggested that the new models will no longer have rubber traction tyres. The power unit is now obscured by the brake compartment, and there's a new 21-pin DCC decoder socket on top, which can accept a decoder, including, they say, their new HM7000 decoders, which are much larger than some standard ones. The lighting can now be triggered by a touch to the top of the roof, which is very similar to how their Turbomotive worked with its tender lights, and I don't think I've really talked enough about this as an innovation. But it is very much an innovation, isn't it? Because of course you don't need a magic wand anymore. That's a tool that's easy to lose and misplace. If you've got your fingers and you can just control the lights with a single touch, that is far better. And I have to say, it's great to see Hornby, of all people, bringing innovation like this. A lot of people might say Hornby have stagnated a bit in recent years. Well, with these last few releases and announcements, it seems they're really pushing forwards, which is great to see. Anyway, the 423 is fairly pricey at an RRP of £362.99. That appears to be for a 4-car train, but it's a little bit more bearable at the retailers, where they are £326.69. I think given all the improvements that Hornby have showcased there, I think this seems fairly reasonable, although do bear in mind that this is a slightly older EMU, even though they have updated it. Well, that is pretty much it for the news. I will just say I have a little release, a product release to do on Monday. I don't want to give anything away about that now, but I will say it's going to be spooky, so tune in for that if you're interested. That is all I have in terms of news for now though, so I hope you enjoyed that. If there's anything I haven't spoken about that you think deserved a mention, please do comment down below and I will consider that for next month. For now though, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with more videos and more model railway news. Alright, cheers everybody, you take care.